When we speak about our country, we use both India and Bharat. Now we are going to see from where these two terms or two names came, or how we started to use both these names. The names of the land, India and Bharat. So the word India comes from the Indus, called Sindhu in Sanskrit. So Indus is called as Sindhu in Sanskrit. So India came from the word Indus, which was called as Sindhu in Sanskrit. Again, the Iranians and the Greeks who came to India 2500 years ago called Indus as Hindos or the Indos, and the land to the east of the river as India. So Iranians are the citizens of Iran. Greeks, they belong to Greece. They came to India 2500 years ago. When they reached India, they called the river Indus as Hindos or Indos, and the land to the east of the river Indus as India. So this is the second opinion. So India was called, that name was given by the Iranians and the Greeks who came to India 2500 years ago. And they called river Indus as Hindos or the Indos. And the land to the east of the river was called as India. So this is about the origin of the name India. Next, the name Bharata or Bharata was used for a group of people. This group of people lived in the northwest part of India. And later they used the term Bharat to refer our country. So the term Bharata was used to a group of people who lived in the northwest part of India, and later it was used for the country. So once again, India, the term India comes from the word Indus, which means Sindhu in Sanskrit. And Iranians and the Greeks called the river Indus as Hindos or the Indos, and the land to the east of river Indus as India. And Bharata was used for a group of people who lived in the northwest part of India, and later it was used for the country. How do we come to know about the past? So anything that helps us to find out about the past is called source. Anything that helps us to find out about the past is called source. We get information about the past from anything that is called a source of information about the past. So manuscripts. Manuscripts are one of the most important sources of information about the past. Manuscripts are one of the most important sources of the past. Books that were written by hand long years ago are called manuscripts. Books that were written by hand long years ago are called manuscripts. Let us see how it was written. They were written on palm leaves or on the specially prepared bark of a tree known as birch, which grows in the Himalayas. So, manuscripts were written on palm leaves or on a specially prepared bark of a tree known as birch, which grows in the Himalayas. So manuscripts were written by hand, and it was written on palm leaves or The bark of a tree. What is meant by bark? Outer covering of a tree. Dried bark of a tree. The name of that tree is birch, and where it grows in the Himalayan regions. Many manuscripts were destroyed, but some manuscripts were preserved in temples and monasteries. As the time passed, many of the manuscripts were destroyed and some were eaten by ants. And the available manuscripts were preserved, kept in temples or monasteries. And they dealt with subjects like the lives of the kings, medicine, science, religious beliefs and practices. So the subjects these or included in the manuscripts were the lives of the kings, medicine, science, religious beliefs and practices of the people. And many of the manuscripts were written in Tamil, Sanskrit or Prakrit language. And Prakrit is the language used only by the ordinary people. So the language used by the ordinary people in ancient times, that is Prakrit language. And manuscripts were written in Tamil, Sanskrit and Prakrit. As time passed, people started to write on hard surfaces like metal or stone. They survived for long and was not destroyed by natural calamities. So here people started to write on hard surfaces and they used metal or stone. Already in the case of manuscripts, it was told they were eaten by ants. So some of them were destroyed. So they found another alternative. They started to write on hard surfaces and they used metal or stone. And the advantage of that one was that they survived for long and that was not destroyed by any natural calamities. But still it was having some problems. But writing on hard surface was difficult as it required tools and skill. So it was very difficult to inscribe on hard surfaces like metal or stone because it needs sharp tools or skilled people to engrave. Now we are going to see what is called inscriptions. Inscriptions are writings on hard surfaces like stone or metals. They are either the records of kings' victories or the order of the kings. So inscriptions are writings on hard surfaces like stone or metals. And what was inscribed on it? Mostly the record of king's victories in a battle. His victory over another king was recorded. Or the orders given by the kings were also inscribed and it was displayed for everyone to read. Way or style of writing of a language is called script. It consists of letters or signs. Script is a way or style of writing of a language and it consists of letters or signs. And decipherment is the process of reading and understanding a script. Decipherment is the process of reading and understanding a script. Decipherment. The archaeologists. Who are called archaeologists? Archaeologists are people who study the remains of the past. So beginning of the class I have told you the study about the remains of past is called archaeology. And archaeologists are people who study the remains of the past. When they study, they explore and excavate. Excavate means to dig under the surface of the earth. And when they excavate, what they will be able to find? Tools, weapons, pots, pans, coins, etc. used by the people in the past. And they look for bones of animals to identify what people ate in the past. So archaeologists are people who study the remains of the past. And in order to find the remains, what they should do? They should explore and excavate. Excavate means dig under the surface of the earth. And they will be able to identify tools, weapons, pots, pans, coins, etc. used by the people in the past. And they will be identifying bones of animals to find what people ate in the past. So historians are scholars who study the past. Scholars who study about the past are called historians. And historians and archaeologists, once the sources are found, they reconstruct the past using that information. So historians are scholars who study about the past. Then who are archaeologists? Archaeologists are people who study about past remains. Then what are called the sources? Anything that gives us information about the past. So once historians and archaeologists are able to get or have a source with them, they will be able to reconstruct the past using the information they got from that sources. In this way, we come to know about the past. The life of ordinary people differs greatly from that of kings in ancient time. One example, ordinary people did not generally keep records of what they did, but the kings kept everything recorded, and they are very useful to the archaeologist. So ordinary people did not generally keep records of what they did, but kings recorded everything, including the victories and orders given by them, and they are very useful to the archaeologist to reconstruct the past. Now we are going to see some letters associated with dates, BC and AD. BC stands for before Christ. AD stands for in the year of the Lord. BC stands for before Christ. AD stands for in the year of the Lord. 2000 BC, if it is represented likewise, it stands for an instant that happens 2000 years before Jesus Christ. And at present, mostly we can see in the present modern books, we can see instead of BC and AD, CE and BCE is used. CE stands for Common Era. CE stands for Common Era. BCE stands for Before Common Era. CE stands for Common Era and BCE stands for Before Common Era. BCE is used instead of BC and CE is used instead of AD. Hope you all understood the chapter very well. See you in the next class. Thank you.